Mm. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say it is a lovely morning in which the Most High Ahia has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm coming with a great message that's is so important in this day and time in which we are in. And I'm titling this message, The Mystery of Ahia is Finished. The mystery of Ahia is finished. I got up this morning, I made me some coffee, I sat down, poured my Bible out, and in the process of pulling my Bible out, I got me some paper. Uh, Here it is, a whole lot of paper, my pens, and I began to say to the Father, "Give me something to give unto thy people." I don't want to get on this devil platform and give you the message out of the flesh of Deborah, Sister Deborah. I want to give you the word out of the heart of Ahia, and not so much out of my flesh, what I want to talk about, what I want to think. I think that you should hear. And I have been doing that for quite some time. I've been hearing from the Most High Ahia, and I bring forth the information He gives me in the wilderness. I bring it unto thee because there are many out there that are elect, and some that's elect and not know that they are elect because they're trying to figure out how is it I'm knowing all this information. And when I read, I don't see what many uh, are saying or teaching or hearing in their own ear. They're hearing the Ruach HaKodesh, and many are hearing the flesh of man. So a lot of the elects would be going to and fro, trying to see where can they actually fit in. I'm here to say this early morning, you don't have to fit in. Don't go to and fro, searching on these devil platforms, seeing who and to whom you can sit up amongst and hear. Know that greater is he that is in thee than he that's in this whole wide world. So it's no need in you searching. Yes, you might know things separate from what you hear them teach. So that leads you to understand that, wait a minute, you might be elect. So therefore, they should be listening to you, not you listening to them. Now, I want to say in this message, this is what the Father gave me. And I was up in Revelation. I think I went 14, 13, 11. Then when I got to 10, chapter 10 of Revelation, the Father spoke to me so clear. And He said, the mystery is finished. I say, Father, I covered this once before. And He said, you need to cover it again because there are elects out there going to and fro, trying to see or trying to get a feel in where they stand on these devil platform or even in the world today. Again, Ahia wants you to know that you need not to look no further, but look within, because that is where He rests therein. That is where He teaches you. That is where He abide in you, giving you that information you don't hear people teaching or speaking. Okay, so know that you don't have to search YouTube or Facebook, Instagram, Patriot. Twitter and all these other sites trying to fit in. You don't have to go to church after church after church. You don't have to keep trying to find a Hebrew Israelite movement that you can join, that you can sit down up under. You don't have to search for apostles and like I say, churches and sanctuaries or apostles or prophets or prophetess or bishops or pastors. Your search is over. Say a higher, a higher, a higher. Your search is over. For spirit and truth rests in thee. The greatest teacher, the greatest messenger rests within thee. So I thank the Most High this morning for giving me this message, because when he gave me the word, I was like, okay, I covered this. But then when he gave me several other chapters to bump on top of it, I said, I like this, Father, Yah, because Ahiah's been telling me that I've been giving people parables. You know, he said, you've been giving them parables, even though you spilled the word out, but you've been giving them parables. And the parables is for the multitude. Okay. And what he meaning is, when I'm giving you word out of the book, okay, and I begin to talk on top of it, those are parables trying to get you to find your way in what the book is saying or what Ahiah has revealed to me. I begin to clam on top of it so that one might be able to hear. And Ahiah said, parables for those shall be here always in great numbers, in case he convert one to hear and to see. You know, then therefore parables is always needed. He made sure Yeshua fed the multitude parables, so they were not without. Let me give you an example of that parable. It's like the sower sowed the seeds. Okay, that sower is Ahiah. The seed is the word. You see, but the parable was set there. But the word was given to the apostle, but he said it in a parable so that the people may understand it in a deeper manner. Instead of being the pure word, he gave them the lore of the pure word in hope that they study and they desire what they have heard and desire more and more, which it comes with the thirst. You have to thirst for this time. And when you thirst, Ahiah, because he has orchestrated and ordained and predestined everything before the foundation of the world, he already know if you're going to pull in or if you're going to stay out. He already know. So this message again is the mystery of Ahiah, the mystery of Yahuwah, which is Ahiah. The mystery of Yahuwah is finished. And it is. And when Sister Deborah is talking about it's over, y'all, it's finished, this is why he brought it to me as a prophetess this morning. Because I was sitting here and I was reading the words, you guys. I was all up in Revelation trying to get a feel of exactly where we at. And then he bagged me from 14. I went over the whole 14 a couple of times. I went over the whole 13 a couple of times. I went over the whole 12 a couple of times. I went over the 11. I think I went there one time. But then when I got into chapter 10, I didn't go no further than 2 verses. And I'm like, what is this about? He said, this is where I want you to speak on. My mystery is finished. And then he bumped it up another verse and say, see right here where you said that there's no more season. He said, there's no more season, Deborah. We're in that day of that hour. So he wants me to share that with you all. And I think I'm going to go on and take you to Revelation chapter 10. Hello in the live chat. It's good to see you here. in Revelation chapter 10, and this here just done something to me. It really done something to me for him to trust me to go back into this and give a message on it. So I just thank him for it, because I've been at the table, you all, early, and trying to see if it's something he wanted me to bring forth. And really, I was wanting to go over there to the water and let him speak to my spirit. But I decided to fix some coffee and just sit here and just read. And I thank him for what he gave me. I just thank him, because I think about me giving people parables, but then also giving them the potent word. Let me tell you where. All this time I'm saying, in the last 3 years, no, 2 years, it's finished. Almost 2 years. It's finished. Okay. I've been saying it's finished, y'all. It's over. And everybody, not everybody, I mean, I said that, I just said it as a word to just say, but the truth of it, it's not everybody. But it's finished. It is finished the way we want to make it fresh and new. And you have so many on these platforms. I don't know why I feel like I got some. Oh, there we go. Here. Why on this devil platform so many people are thinking that they can bring forth something new under the sun? You can't bring forth anything new under the sun. If the Father say it is finished, then therefore you need to be digging in and finding out, wait a minute, hold up. What you mean it's finished? Come on, Father, talk to me. Let me know what's finished. No. Instead, people are going forth, coming to these platforms and bringing new things that is going on under the sun. Solomon taught that years ago. I mean, thousands of years ago. There's nothing new. But he spoke of it. Yeshua spoke of it in the end days. We're going to have false prophets and false teachers pulling up with all kind of information to really kind of throw you off of where you at. And if you're living in this day and time, believe it or not, you are a blessed individual. You see, you are truly blessed. And it is a time where even you yourself can really step out on the water. And if you feel that you have the faith that's already been branded in you, you have the belief, it has been branded in you, and you know righteous for whom it is. Step out and start speaking. Okay. The reason why I say start speaking is because a lot of us is hiding behind all kind of walls and wanting to speak, but holding back, thinking it's okay to hold back. If we are in the midnight hour, the end days, and here Ahia giving me the message, the mystery of Ahia is finished. That's scary. That will be scary to me as a prophetess. But the reason why it is not scary, I'm not afraid of that statement, is because I've been saying it for the last 2 years, about 2 years. It is finished. It is finished. Okay? Because I like the word mystery, though, y'all. I like in Revelation chapter 10, we're going to go from verse 9 through 10. I like the idea he gave me this, because that word mystery, I love it. I love that word mystery, because all my life, even as a young girl, I knew it was a mystery in everything in this book. Up and down it, in the beginning, in the end, from the end to the beginning, there's mysteries. But it's only given to those in whom Ahia has chosen it for. And he don't have to give it to you because he gave it to Sister Deborah. He don't have to give it to Sister Deborah if he give it to you. Don't forget, he controls all of this. He rules. So we have to respect him in the choices that he made, to whom he decided from the foundation of the world to give it unto, and when to activate it in the individual. Okay, so we're gonna go to Revelation chapter 10. Okay, and we're gonna go to I shouldn't turn this off because youngest son, but I'm going to trust the Most High in that. My youngest son is taking a trip, a little road trip, and I don't want him out there with these. You know what? I'm gonna tell you all something. This is what I learned, and I don't know how many of you all are mothers, but I learned that a mother's feeling is not heartfelt. A mother feelings, what that mother feels, is not even heartfelt by her. I don't care if it's your husband. I don't care if it's your parents. I don't care if it's your children. No one seems to feel a mother and what she could be going through. You see what I'm saying? It's just like, so what? Who cares? And the father shared with me that it's been like that for quite some time. I mean, really, some time, thousands of years. Never feeling when this woman is the one that does the caregiving, taking care of, making sure A to Z, making sure you hear, just making sure everything is right for her children, which is, it's just amazing how they can't feel that, if I'm going something, I'm doing something, and mom said, well, when you be careful, why is it they can't feel that feeling of a mother, that heartfelt of a mother? It's just not there. And it's not coming. It's not going to reestablish. It's not going to be rebuilt. It's over. Everything is over. So I'm just saying, because I think of my youngest son taking this road trip. He knows that when they go and do stuff just out of the order, because it's almost with me in my mind, the way I'm seeing things, I'm like, okay, they don't have any business allowing him to do a road trip on his job. He can't do that. Jonah is 25 years old. He can't do a road trip on this job. Don't let the world put you in a situation, and if something happened to these children, then they're coming for you. Matter of fact, I'll let you all know this after I put down my father's word that he gave me. I'll talk about it at the end. We're coming from Revelation chapter 10. This is a message in which the Father has given me. We're coming from Revelation chapter 10, verse 6. And it reads in verse 6. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. And swear by him that liveth forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that therein are, and the earth and the things that therein are, and the sea and the things which are therein, that there should be there should be time no more. I'm gonna go over that again, because I'm really kind of shaky seeing if that's the verse I was really looking for. And what he's saying is, in Revelation is speaking of the Father. Okay, so listen to it again. Revelation chapter 10, verse 6. And swore by him that liveth forever and ever, who created the things that therein are, and the earth and the things that therein are, and the sea and the things which are therein, which now they backwards it. That's why I'm confused, because they at the beginning it says therein are, and then at the last one it says are therein, kind of like backwards, which there should be time no more. Sister Deborah have said to you all over and over and over, we are not in time, you guys. We are not in season. You know how you should be a time in a season? All of that is over with. We're in that day of that hour. Okay. So here it tells you that there should be time no longer. So when you hear Sister Deborah tell you that y'all, we're in that day. I talk about the midnight hour, and I talk about the hour, because we're out of the time and season. We're not in that anymore. That's over. We will not go back to that. Okay, so that is over. So we are now no longer in time. Okay, we're in that hour of we're in that day of that hour. Okay, now here we go. This is what the Father gave me in verse 7. But in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of Ahiah should be finished, as he has declared to his servants, with an S, the prophets. So if you're thinking that Ahiah is coming through apostles, pastors, bishops, Maureen, watchmen, seers, they would tell you that the Father is giving them that information. No, he isn't. He's letting you know his servants, the prophets. Okay? That's where you will hear what he is saying, the mystery. But guess what he says? It's finished. It is finished, as he has declared to his servants, the prophets. He already declared the mystery to his servants already. So when you hear Sister Deborah coming out telling you things about, I've been taught from the wilderness, and this is, he has declared these things to me, and I'm bringing them forth as he gives it to me, or as he speak it and teach me. But he's saying, but now the mystery is finished. It's finished, you guys. The only way you're going to receive it is through his servants, the prophets that are here today, that been in this thing, honestly, that has been in here some time now. A lot of people think it's the new prophets that's coming. No, it's not the new ones. That's why there's the new prophets are speaking things to really focus on the outer man, because they don't understand that a lot of them fall under false prophets in the last days, deceiving many, and false teachers. See, they don't understand that's him. He already prophesied about you. But here he's telling you the mystery of Ahiah shall be finished, as he has already declared to his servants and his prophets. See, it's finished. If you want it, you're going to get it through the true prophets that serves under Ahiah. You're not going to get it through the new prophets that's coming out with this new thing about using this Hebrew Israelite movement as a way to conduct people in how they're supposed to look, live, walk, talk. And a lot of them are telling people to join and sign up for all this cryptocurrency. And it's a lot of things they're actually having people to get involved in, that send what little money they have to those who are ripping them off since they've been over here. But yet the new prophets, that's what they are doing. So from here in Revelation, I like what he's saying, because as he said, declared to his prophets, to his servants, the prophets, but the mystery is finished. So if you want to know the mystery, it's going to only be found in the prophets. Okay. Just like he told what was that? The rich guy who was in hell. He wanted to see if Father Abraham, if you could see to it that I can go back to witness to my brothers and his father. And he said, no, for they have Moses and the prophets. And that's what people don't understand. You should be able to, if you have the Ruach HaKodesh, you should be able to try the spirit by the spirit and see if that individual carry the spirit of the Most High Ahiah. And if they carry the spirit of the most high or higher, then therefore they are subject. If they call it themselves a prophet or a prophetess, then they are the prophetess and the prophets of the most high or higher. But try our spirit by your spirit. Okay. And I'm not talking about if your spirit is your flesh and you don't know your spirit is used to being submissive under your flesh, then you can't try Sister Deborah's spirit. You can only try my spirit if a higher is resting there in your spirit. You see, then he'll have you to try my spirit by your spirit to see if we one of the same. You see what I'm saying? So all people who don't have the spirit of the Ruach HaKodesh, they are not equipped to try your spirit nor my spirit. Okay. Now, here the Father is talking about in Revelation chapter 10, verse 7, that the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound the mystery. Now listen to this. When he shall begin to sound, the mystery of Ahia should be finished. When? When the angels sound? No, before he sound. Before the seven angels sound, the mystery of Ahia should be finished. You see? So going back to what I was saying, I said it almost 2 years now. It's finished, y'all. I know y'all want to make it something new under the sun or some information. So when Sister Deborah is saying searching your history, that's what I'm talking about. All this new stuff that's coming up that people think that they're bringing something to your eyes and your ears that's new because they want to search something out to become someone separate than everybody else. There's nothing new under the sun. And that means information, you guys. History. It's nothing new. It has been here and it have existed. So you want to just hear what has already been heard. You see what I'm saying? Or if Ahia is going to give you something, he's going to give you something based on what has already been here. He's not going to give you something out of the blue that nobody else knew about. You know, a lot of our people that's coming, they're coming to really heavily deceive many. And they're doing an excellent job. Now we're going to go to Corinthians, 1 Corinthians. They are doing a wonderful job deceiving the people. Oh, a wonderful job. And I can say that because Ahia said he created the evil for the days of the wicked for the days of evil. So there are days that he has created these people to be excellent at what they do. So if he said that's how he was able to prophesy it, it's because he already knew it in heaven that these going to come during this time period. They're going to deceive a whole bunch of people. Don't you know how you knew that? That's why he prophesied it, that many shall come and deceive many. It's because the Most High had already prophesied. He already had it orchestrated from heaven. How did he do it? He said, I, Proverbs 16 and verse 4, created evil for the days of wicked for the days of evil. I did that. See, when did you do that, Father, y'all? Before the foundation of the world. And honestly, guess what, you guys? The reason why he gave me this verse in Revelation to start off is because he says, see where it says, the mystery of Ahia shall be finished. Sister Deborah came before this YouTube a couple of months ago, maybe 3 months ago, talking about what took place before the foundation of the world. That was a mystery to me, to the whole world. It's a mystery. Why? Because it's something Ahia didn't reveal to those and to many. But because they feel that, when I don't understand it like that, I don't see it like that, I don't think it's really saying that, or if it is, it's this. But you got to understand, it's not that it's something new. It's something that Ahia held as a mystery to his prophets. You see, and that's why many would never have gone in there to do their search or to say, okay, when I never thought of it like that. I never saw it like that because Ahia did not give it to you. He did not teach you from the wilderness what took place before the foundation of the world. That is another one of the mystery. When Sister Deborah tell you the word Love, you turn it backwards. Evo. You see? People just don't get it. And they don't care to get it. But I like what he says. In the last days, that which is in the dark shall come to the light. And I think he got that in there about 15 times. And saying it in different ways, but the same thing. It's coming to light in the end days. So therefore, the mystery that is finished is held in the bosom of the prophets, who are servants of the Most High. Now, when I see all these prophets coming now, they talking all kind of stuff that has nothing to do with spirit and truth. And that's why I cannot let go spirit and truth, you guys. I can't let it go because everybody else want to teach. Oh, you better get your head tied. A woman not supposed to speak. All this yang, 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 yang. Who should tell the Creator what to do? What is His? And He is the potter of the clay. He calls one to honor and one to dishonor. Who's going to step into Him and tell Him what to do with what is His? We shouldn't even want to challenge Him that way. So let's go to 1 Corinthians and chapter 2 and verse 7. In 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 7, it reads, but we speak the wisdom of Ahia in a mystery. In a mystery, you guys. Who holds these mysteries that is this lady is talking about? Who is holding these mysteries? The servants, the prophets. You see? So when you are hearing Sister Deborah talking, you might not can grip it, but I look at it. This is how I have come to the understanding of it in the fullness of the spirit realm. You speak that thing, girl. Don't worry about nobody agreeing, liking, hearing it, knowing it, seeing it. It don't matter. It was given to you, a servant of the Most High, the mystery of Ahia. Same thing with Yeshua. With Yeshua and Hamashiach. Same thing in Genesis. The first and second chapter shows you that there were a time period when everything was created imperfect. We have to consider what was going on then. They don't. Right here today, many of you all wouldn't even know that the word us in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 has caused hundreds and thousands of religions to start based on that, because they take it and make it what they want to make it and say that it is. But Ahia said in Revelation, it is given, the mysteries are given to my prophets. So we don't want that. We want to hear the prophets of evil, the one that's coming to deceive many, because that's what many people prepare for. That's what caused this platform is set up from the floor up with many false prophets, many false teachers, and they deceiving many by great numbers. But don't think that my father didn't know it. And he knew it so much. He said, but mine, they hold the mystery of who I am. I try to explain people ever since I've been on here. Christ is the right hand of the Father. He is the word us in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And to do your study on the right hand and the stretched out arm. But you would never, ever, 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 ever get anyone to do that, especially those that are teaching the people on these devil platforms. They say they watchmen, they seers, they Moorings. They would never. Pastors, bishops, apostles, they so busy saying a woman not supposed to speak. Oh, you wrap your head, you put on your fringes. Ahia, if you all understood, let me tell y'all this. If only you understood what heavens is like unto. Hallelujah, Father, Yah. I see where you're coming. If you only understood what heavens is like unto. What are you talking about, Sister Deborah? Yeshua came down, constantly saying, heavens is like unto, heavens is like unto, heavens is like unto, heavens is like unto, heavens is like unto. Letting you know what heaven is really like unto, because heaven has orchestrated everything down on the earth to be like unto what is in the heavens. I mean, earth cannot gain nothing that heaven do not release. So heavens is like unto. That was the message of Yeshua throughout Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Heavens is like unto. Heavens is like unto. Why? He was trying to get you to understand, even in the parables and in the word, heavens orchestrated this, you guys. They missed it. Now, the apostles later on, when the Ruach HaKodesh came and into them, they remember what he said, and that's how they got it. But that's still another part of the mystery that is finished. That's why Sister Deborah say to you all, he's not coming to make you understand something nowadays. He's not coming to tell you, do this. Oh, Father, I need you to tell me this. No, he's not coming. He's been telling you something since the beginning of time, and you still have not heard him. So what makes you think that in the last days, he's going to sit here in turmoil and play with you? He's not going to. You either going to be like the rich man in here. You have Moses and you have my prophets. And in Revelation, I love it because he's saying, hey, let me tell y'all, my servants, the prophets, has the mystery. So if you want to know the mystery, you can check with them. But the only one they're checking with is the false prophets. The only one they're running around and running behind and liking and subscribing are the false prophets. Is there something wrong with that? No, that's wonderful. The world loves their own. And the broad gate is broad. And the narrow gate is narrow. And that's the way the Father orchestrated it. He even enlarged in hell. See, he knows what he's saying, and he's saying what he knows. You see? How do he know it? Before the foundation of the world. So that's another mystery. I know y'all don't get it, but it's to the point, if he gave it to me to bring it forth, somebody on here gonna get it, even if it's one. Because that's the message he gave me to bring forth to you too. Now, in Corinthians chapter 2, verse 7, hear this. But we speak the wisdom of a higher in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom. See? Watch this here. Which are higher. Listen very carefully, and I know a lot of you all ain't gonna get it, but listen to what he said. Which are higher, ordained before the world unto our glory. He ordained it. The mystery. The wisdom we speak among them. Like that's 6. But the verse 7, for we speak the wisdom of a higher in a mystery. Okay, let's say the wisdom. It's been 3 years I've been trying to inform people that you have your flesh and you have your spirit. You have wisdom in the flesh, you have wisdom in the spirit. You have knowledge in the flesh, you have knowledge in the spirit. You have understanding in the flesh, and you have understanding in the spirit, which is the Ruach HaKodesh. Without the Ruach HaKodesh, you have not understanding of wisdom and knowledge that rests therein, okay, in the spirit. What brings you to the power of wisdom and knowledge is understanding. That's what the Ruach come to do, to give you full understanding of the spirit of wisdom and the spirit of knowledge. Why would you say that, Deborah? It's because the understanding knock wisdom and knowledge out the ballpark. You know how you play softball? I played softball. So you play softball and you get one hit, and then you get another hit, and then that third hit, you hit a home run. Well, that's what understanding is. It brings the home run of your first hit, your second hit, and it caps it off with understanding. That's what the Ruach HaKodesh come in you to do, to give you the understanding of wisdom, of knowledge in your spirit. Okay, you cannot have understanding in your spirit without the Ruach HaKodesh. Well, what do you mean? He said, all your getting. That's why he said that. In all your getting, get understanding. Because it's the home run. It's the home run hitter. The last hit is when the Ruach come in you and give you a home run hitter. Okay? To where you have the same thing in the flesh that you have in the spirit. You have the wisdom and you have the understanding. I mean, you have the wisdom and you have the knowledge. And you have understanding in your flesh. And in your understanding, your mood swings, your feelings, your emotion get caught up in all your understanding, all your wisdom, and all your knowledge. And then you are built up on flesh. So on that side is where the deceivers comes in and teach you all on these devil platforms. And that's how it comes in. It comes in on these devil platforms on the end of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in the flesh. That gives people this idea that, oh, these people are women and men of God. Oh, they pastors of the most high. They are chosen by, because they're giving them everything in the flesh. And the Father have taught us throughout time that the war is flesh. Always, your flesh gonna always fight up against your spirit. Why? Because the flesh want to pretend it knows more than the spirit, and it can't. Because a higher abides in the spirit. You see, the flesh knows the things that are evil. At least the spirit knows good. But the flesh is wicked and evil and always will be. That's why its destiny has been already assigned, each and every last one of us, to the ground where the flesh shall go. Every last one of human beings will die, will go back to the ground, their flesh. So you see where the flesh don't have nothing to lose, to mislead your spirit or keep your spirit from having a relationship with the Most High or higher, because it don't feel it has nothing to lose. But in Corinthians, first chapter, and you all need to write this verse down, because this is something Sister Deborah going to write down, and she's going to be speaking every time she get a chance on this devil platform, because it's so powerful. First Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 7. But we speak the wisdom of a higher. That wisdom is in the spirit, child. Okay? In a mystery. Okay? Even the hidden wisdom. Okay? Which a higher ordained before the ordained before the world, and unto our glory. See, everything that we have in us today, y'all, it was already placed in us from a higher. That's why I say to y'all, we can't stand down here and try to get all glory and honor and all we this and all we that. We know this, we know that. No. Hold up, baby. Hold up. Anything you know in spirit and truth is what a higher has given you from the heavenly level. Here it is. It's telling you here in verse 7. The wisdom of a higher. That's spirit, you guys. Okay? In the mystery, even the hidden wisdom, which a higher ordained before the world, unto our glory. This stuff was ordained in us already. You see? The mystery. So when I get out and he's sitting here telling me, okay, Deborah, go on, take the keys, open the door, and let them go on in. But you know this. I don't know how many, I don't care how many go into the door with your keys. They still ain't gonna get it unless I give it to them. But you can go on and teach it. See, he gave me the okay to speak that twice. He just let me know, but you're not going to be the one that's going to allow them to see or hear what you're saying. And lo and behold, it was worthless. Because even today, the mysteries that has been spoken, people cannot grip it. They can't graft it. They can't take a hold of it because it's not in them. It's not for them. People will get on and just listen, year after year, and can't even feel that they're not moving in a direction that is spirit and truth, nor do they see any light. And that's how they do when they get on these platforms. Okay, so here I love it because before the world, he ordained before the world. You see what I'm saying? And we want to run around here and make him a lie so we can live a truth of our flesh and of evil and wicked. The truth be told, it's finished. It's finished. And this here, he's saying higher in a mystery. And I understand exactly that, because 99 trillion don't know that you can have wisdom and knowledge and understanding in your flesh, and it'll die with you to the ground. But the wisdom and knowledge and understanding in the spirit, it'll live eternal in you, because it is the spirit in which a higher abide in and has given you his wisdom, his knowledge, and his blessed understanding to knock wisdom and knowledge out of the ballpark and bring you into the fullness of understanding. That's why he said he teaches all things. He didn't say, I shall teach you some things. He said, I will teach you all things, because it's all, anything that his servants, the prophets and others need to know. He's the true teacher. Okay. Now I like that. I love that. I love that. Now we're going to go to 1 Corinthians. Stay there. Let's drop down to verse 10. In verse 10, this is something else. This is the hidden mystery. It ain't hidden. It's not hidden from those who he has assigned and appointed the mystery. You see, it's hidden to those who wants to portray they have the mystery, so that they can deceive the multitude. See, so I love that. I love how he got this set up. I really do. So in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 10, it says, but Ahiah has revealed them unto us by his spirit. For the spirit searches all things, yea, the deep things of Ahiah. There go that spirit, and that spirit in truth, y'all. You see? Notice the spirit. You see that spirit? That's a capital spirit. That's Ahiah. That spirit is Ahiah. Now listen to what it says. But Ahiah has revealed them unto us by his spirit. The spirit, his spirit, searches all things, yea, the deep things of Ahiah. See, this is what he's saying. When did it, you see what I'm saying? But he said it's not given to any and everybody. Do y'all see how important it is for the true prophets? You see the importance? Because Ahiah has appointed and anointed and assigned them to know the mystery of who he is, what he's doing, and how he's doing it, and why he's doing it. You see, he has assigned that to those before the foundation of the world. That's this here thing is trying. Okay, before the foundation of the world. So a lot of us thinking that we have to be on this devil platform watching all these clowns tell us nothing. And that's why I say in this day, in this hour we're in, just be serious about your relationship with a higher power. Don't play in this, because it's nothing to play in. It's serious. And when he took me to Revelation 10, because I started with 14, I went to 13, I went to 12, then I went to 11, and I stopped at 10. He said, no, go here to this verse, saying that the mystery is finished. If you really want to know it, you're going to have to find the prophets, and then you're going to have to find the true prophets. Okay, now listen to this. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 10. But Ahiah has revealed them unto us by the Spirit. For the Spirit searches all things, yea, the deep things of Yah. So, no, they can't. The new prophets and the new prophetess can't come in and be able to tell you what Sister Deborah is telling you. Why? Because it hasn't been given unto them to know. He did not say the false prophets and the false teachers is going to know the mystery. And those are the one that's booming on YouTube. Those are the one that has, I mean, feeding the people every day, 3 or 4, 5 times, and they just eating it up. And it's okay, because I like how Ahia did it. I love how he did it, because he made sure he let Sister Deborah know. Deborah, don't forget, the narrow gate, and very few shall find their end. So that's beautiful. Now, honestly, this lesson is worth writing these verses down, because it's something you can teach to any and everybody. You can sit down and teach to your children. You can teach to your husband. Your husband can teach to you, his wife. You can teach to your parents. This is a wonderful lesson. And it started in Revelation chapter 10, verse 6 through 7. Now we're in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 7, and chapter 2 and verse 10. Let me tell you why. If you ever get in a situation where you feel that you don't know who you are, or what you're doing, and what you heard, and what you believe in, go back to these verses. Go back to these verses. You shall and you will find your way. Because this is what he gave the prophetess today. It ain't like I ain't been through this here. This is what he gave me to give. Okay. Now, in Ephesians chapter 1. Let's see what Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 9. I was there and I took it out. Chapter 1 and verse 9. Having made known unto us the mystery of his will. There are times, I think it probably ain't been no more than 10 times I have explained to people that the Father say, your thoughts are not my thoughts. Okay? Your ways are not my ways. When I first read that, when I was a teenager, I said, when I tell you what, let me know your thoughts and let me know your ways. See, I thirst for what is spirit and truth all my life. And not because it's me in the flesh, and not because it's just me as a prophetess. I search for those things, those answers. When he called me with the holy calling, he said I was bullheaded and stubborn. And he said, and I'm going to teach you. He said it just like that. And I started laughing. So I can imagine how Sarah laughed when he said she was going to have she heard that she was going to have a child. Because I did. I laughed, and I thought it was so funny, because I was the only one in this here kitchen, because I was a chef. I was a head cook then. And I thought that was so funny to hear that. And I got up and I started laughing. I laughed, and I went on back because it was so clear. And ever since then, he told me during that same time, he said, because you ask questions, man cannot answer. Guess what the Father said to me when I think I was 19. He said, you ask questions, man cannot answer. And I do. I go to him and say, wait a minute, hold up. If your thoughts are not my thoughts, if your thoughts are not our thoughts, your ways are not our ways, come on here with it. Let me know your thoughts and let me know your ways so I can walk therein. I was just that individual that always went straight to the altar of the Most High, higher, and commune with him that way. You know? So here in Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 9, listen to this. Having made known unto us the mystery of his will, according to his good pleasure, which he has purpose in him. So don't let anybody ever tell you the woman was created for the man and not the man for the woman. That's a smear. Why? Because throughout Genesis to Revelation, Ahia is telling us everything was created for him and his purpose. And his purpose is not to give a woman just for the lust and the desire of a man. Flesh. That is not of Ahia. And it has nothing to do with his righteous will, but just gonna give you something so you can use and abuse, which you have done thousands of years, and he's putting an end to it. Oh, yes, there's going to be a great end to all of that. So here I like him saying, having made known unto us the mystery of his will. Who is that? The servants, the prophets. He's given us all of who he is that he wants us to know. Will we know? Like Sister Deborah said, give or take, maybe 20, okay? 20%. Okay, I'm not going to sit and say I know it all, but all that he has given me, I have not lost not any of it to this world. I still hold firm to the teaching he has taught me in the wilderness. And then what does he say in verse 9, Ephesians chapter 1, verse 9? He calls it his mystery. So you really believe that all these people on this devil platform, Facebook, and all these places talking about God, Jesus Christ, Ahaya, Yahuwah, know something? They don't. Because the mystery is only given to those in which he has appointed, ordained, and predestined to know. Here it is, the mystery of his will. Yes, for a long time in my teenage years, I knew mystery of my Father's will. I knew it. I didn't know it because it was my flesh. I was knowing it because of his spirit in me and my spirit abiding in him under his teaching. Okay. Now he said, according to the good pleasure which he has purpose in himself, not in Sister Deborah. This mystery ain't for Sister Deborah pleasure. He's telling you this is all got to do with him. See, so if you run around here thinking that there is not a mystery, so when people run around here trying to tell you information that's under the sun, you see how messed up on the floor they are? Even with Solomon. I knew mysteries that Solomon never knew. Want me to give you one? Let me give you one. I'm going to give you one. When Solomon told the father, you know, he knew he had inherited a David's throne. Okay. He didn't inherit David's throne just through the natural. He inherited David's throne through the spirit. Okay. Because Ahiah had a covenant with David that his seed or his child or his seed will always reign on the throne after him. Okay. So Solomon had already inherited David's spiritual how would I say it? David's spiritual mission, I say. He also inherited David's natural mission. David natural, what was that? His wealth. He was a king, and he inherited all that wealth from David. Okay. Even others all over brought Solomon money and added to it. He was just the rich of the rich on the face of the earth. So what did he have? He was rich two ways, natural and spirit. Right? Now watch this here. 99.3 and won't understand this, but I'm going to say it anyway because I'm going to show you the difference in the mystery. Okay. And then I'll give you a little tiny mystery in Naomi and Ruth. Okay. But the mystery was what Solomon is. Solomon said if he would give him the ability to know, he said this to the father because the father asked him and he said he would like to know the wisdom and knowledge under the sun. Under the sun. We know that anything under the sun is much evil, wicked, and sin. Okay? So Solomon went asking for Ahiah to allow him to know the things under the sun, not the heaven. You see what I'm saying? But the things under the sun. Do you get it? You get it? So Ahiah suffered Solomon to know everything under the sun. That's what Solomon said he wanted Ahiah to give him because he figured he had David's spiritual mission and he had David's wealth. So if I just can know everything that's under the sun, I'll be good to go. I know all the wisdom and the knowledge. And Ahia granted him to know all the wisdom and knowledge. But guess what, baby? Guess what? All the wisdom and knowledge is no good in it. It's all vain, vexation with spirits. Solemn instant began to find out everything that Ahia had created on the earth, really what it was worth during his time, wicked and evil. That's what he found out. Guess what he didn't do? Solomon didn't have what Sister Deborah has been given. Sister Deborah been given not just the wisdom and knowledge, she has been given the understanding, something he should have asked for, and he didn't. See, he wanted just the wisdom and the knowledge. But the wisdom and knowledge, you're going to find many things going on with that without the understanding of wisdom and knowledge. You get what I'm saying? When I said wisdom and knowledge, and then he say, and then understanding in all your getting. When you get wisdom, Solomon, when you get knowledge, Solomon, you better get understanding. And he did not have that. And that weighed hard on him to know all this that was under the sun and see that it was all worthless because it had no understanding. You see, that's why he began to say, and even if I get this here and I have this here, it goes to, if I die, it goes to another man. And that other man might not feel the way I feel about Ahia. You're right. See, he was learning all. And guess what? He was considered the preacher, okay, and the richest person on the earth, okay? So he built Ahia a temple. He did all kind of things, but he was a miserable man in heart. Why? Because Ahia had given him what he asked, wisdom and knowledge. But let me tell you all this, and don't you ever forget it. And I've been saying it since I've been on this devil platform. You can get all your wisdom and you can get all your knowledge, but without understanding, you are lost without a cause in the midnight hour. Because understanding is the light that comes in the midst of darkness, and it springs up so you can see, what is this wisdom here? What is this knowledge? Now you got understanding, which is the light that shines on wisdom and knowledge. You see, that's why I said that understanding is like hitting a home run out the ballpark. You know, hit a home run, hit the ball so far, you get a home run. Why? Because your first hit was wisdom, your second hit was knowledge. But when you get that understanding, which is the Ruach HaKodesh, it throws you out the ballpark and you get a home run. Okay? So when you get that understanding, guess what? You're gonna have wisdom and you're gonna have knowledge. Now it's separate from the wisdom and knowledge you have in your flesh and understanding you have in your flesh. That's worked through a lot of emotions and a lot of feelings and a lot of wicked and evil. But there is an understanding and that's in you through the Ruach HaKodesh that cracks the mystery of wisdom and knowledge within you. Okay, so Solomon didn't ask for that fullness. He just asked for wisdom and knowledge under the sun. Okay, now say for instance, Solomon got all the wisdom and knowledge under the sun, but never knew that everything under the sun, where did it come from? You see the understanding? You see where the understanding come in? Because he asked for wisdom and knowledge under the sun. Okay, say for instance, okay, he get all the wisdom and knowledge under the sun, but now he's left there because he has no understanding of what this wisdom and knowledge is, or he has the understanding of what it is, but what is its worth? And why is it here? That's why he kept calling it vain and vexation of spirits and worthless from the beginning. All you had to do is read Ecclesiastic all the way to the end. He hooping and hollering about how horrible everything is under the sun. It's because he didn't have the understanding. See, and the understanding is the Ruach HaKodesh that comes to let you know This wisdom and this knowledge is because of this understanding. And it takes Solomon to the mystery. You see? It takes him to the mystery. See, but he didn't ask Ahiah for that. Because all the understanding of what Sister Deborah, if Sister Deborah see this cup, all the things that you see, all of it has some understanding to it. You go outside, everything you see has been created by Ahiah. Even a man that builds something, he couldn't have had the mind had not Ahiah, and the hand and the talent, unless Ahiah. You see? So therefore, when Solomon had knew what the Father did, he allowed him to know everything, y'all, under the sun. And he went on to tell you and I, it was all worthless, vain, and vexation with spirits, vanity and vanities. He hooped and hollered about that all the way through. He had every right, because he didn't know and didn't have the fullness of where it come from. You see? And why it exists. You see? He didn't have none of that. Sister Deborah been given the wisdom, the knowledge in the spirit realm, but she also has the understanding, which is the Ruach HaKodesh of all things. When I say all things, I'm talking about only the things Ahiah have suffered me to have. Okay? Now, with Ruth and, is it Ruth and Naomi? I think that's her name. A lot of people were, let me give you the mystery in that. A lot of people, see, what David didn't have the understanding of why things were the way that it was under the sun. He just wanted to know what it was at its fullness. So Ahiah let him know what it was at its fullness. And now he's just out there going crazy, because now he don't understand what was the purpose. But see, if you knew what the heavens had orchestrated before the foundation of the world, David, then it would make you feel more comfortable about everything you learned under the sun. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So in Ruth and Naomi, there's a mystery. And that mystery, because I kind of flipped there, you guys. I kind of flipped, because I was like, why is she chasing after that man? You know, just all kind of little things. But a lot of people looked at Ruth and Naomi and really didn't understand none of it. It had nothing to really do with Ruth nor Naomi. It has nothing to do with them. It was all about what Ahiah was orchestrating, the mystery, so that Sister Deborah can understand that the Ruth and Naomi were only the actors in the play. Okay, but when you have actors in the play, there's things going on behind the scene. And behind the scene, I was getting frustrated, y'all, because I'm trying to figure out, well, why they doing this? Why they doing this? But I had to be in my class in the wilderness to get it. And I'm like, I'm reading this. Wait a minute. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? Why didn't they leave and go home to their parents? And why is she still falling behind her mother-in-law? And why is her mother-in-law having her to go to her father's relative? It was Ahiah orchestrating the actors in front, and the scene behind the actors was the power of Ahiah's right hand. He was sending the bloodline from the dead ancestors back to the ancestors. He was using them as the actors in this book, okay? To show Sister Deborah how he came behind the scene of the actors to bring back the bloodline all the way back to the bloodline. See, it was about bringing that bloodline back connected, because when the two sons and the father died, okay, that cut the bloodline off. What bloodline? To Yeshua HaMashiach. So he had to route two actors to play the role, and he was the orchestrator behind the scene to make sure that these actors connect to the bloodline. Because when the two sons died, don't forget, the husband died and then her two sons, right? That's the bloodline. It's cut off. So Ahiah, not Naomi and Ruth, Ahiah had a ram in the bush, as always. So what did he do? He put two players, Naomi and Ruth, and they act the role while Ahiah was in the back scene orchestrating it. Because I was getting mad. I said, now why is that girl running behind that guy? She better stop. Why does she keep running behind him? He don't want her. That's what I was saying. But the father showed me, Deborah, I'm doing something behind the scene. What you talking about? I said, I see it, and I'm wondering why. You know, and he was just showing me that those women were the actors, okay? But behind them was a mission, spiritual, being done behind the scene to connect the three dead bloodlines back into the bloodline that's going to come through the Messiah. Hallelujah! So that's a mystery, because I have heard it in the church after church. I've heard it on YouTube. I've heard the Hebrews teaching. They cannot find the mystery of it because it had nothing to do with the women. It had to do with the bloodline of the Messiah that had to come. He was wrapping the dead relatives, the sons and the father, bloodline back up to their relatives. See, now they were at the relatives. The king was the relative of the one that lost the father and the two sons. That was his bloodline. And Ahiah was connecting the bloodline back to the relative. Because you got to bring the Messiah on down that bloodline. A clean, fresh bloodline. So that's why all that was happening, you all. And whatever happened in between that, it wasn't that the king had his main servant was really trying to destroy her. But what Ahiah said, wait a minute, Deborah, I got a ram in the bush. I got to make sure, everything. And I'm like, wait a minute, well, why this happening? Why this? And he had to show me what was behind the scene. That's the mystery, you guys. That's something Solomon didn't receive. So Solomon didn't receive this mystery. You see, the mystery, okay, is given to the prophets, in which Ahiah has ordained before the foundation of the world. Okay, so that's another one. If y'all read that one, it's really good with Ruth and Naomi. And then when you read, you're going to say, that little old lady sure knew what she was talking about. When you see it, it's all about the actors. Everybody get overwhelmed by the actors and forget who's staging it behind. Who's behind the scene. And that's what I kind of feel sad for, is that the Father is always doing things in front of us, but we see people. We see every character in the Bible. We see people on YouTube, people on Facebook. You see Sister Deborah, you're not supposed to see me. You're supposed to see him, okay? You're supposed to see him working his work through Sister Deborah, okay? You're not supposed to see the people on this devil platform. Oh, they teaching a good message. Oh, they did. No. You're supposed to see what Ahiah is saying unto you, okay? Through the vessel, through the flesh that he has brought forth, and not the flesh itself, okay? And I feel really sad. It was a time where I was so sad. I used to cry about how we never give him the glory and the praise. And I'm so sorry that we look at David, Moses, and Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We look at all them. And I was young because I could not see why we were giving all these people who was role playing in this Bible, the characters in which Ahiah used to bring forth himself. They get the credit, but look at Enoch. and all them other books. They get all the glory and the credit. And now one of them books can redeem you, nor bring you to the light, nor to spirit and truth. Now one of them. And nothing they say can bring you to spirit and truth. Nothing they done can bring you to spirit and truth. So what is it for? It's just man gets lost in their own understanding. They lead to their own understanding. So I wanted to give you that as a mystery. And if I come up with the others, I just throw it in as a treat. Okay. Now we're going to go to Colossians. Colossians chapter 2. In Colossians chapter 2. Colossians chapter 2. Verse 2 and 3. Colossians chapter 2, verse 2 and 3. And it reads, that their hearts might be comfort, being knitted together in love. I think in give and gave. That's me. And unto all riches of the full assurance of understanding. You see that? Do what now? All the riches of the fullness. No, not fullness. Of the full assurance of understanding. See, understanding is rich, you guys. You are rich when you have understanding. Why? Because understanding is the spirit of Ahia himself. That means you the rich of the rich on this earth and don't know it. Okay. So it's saying all riches of the fullness assurance of understanding to the knowledgement of the mystery of a higher, watch this here, and of the Father and of Christ. I'm going back now. I'm into one in 16 minutes, but this right here shows you exactly what I oversaid. And when I mean oversaid, that wasn't a part of the lot of Naomi and Solomon, wasn't a part of the message, but a higher suffered me to bring it forth. Here, look at here, look very close, and you can see spiritual meshes in here. And you can almost, if you have the spiritual eye to see it, you can see where the mystery is at. Now watch this here. It says in verse 2, Colossians chapter 2, verse 2, that their hearts might be comfort, being knit together in love, and unto all riches of the fullness assurance of understanding. Watch this here. To the knowledge, acknowledgement of the mystery of a higher, that's one, and of the Father, that's two, and of Christ, that's three. Where is Yeshua in that? Where is Yeshua in that? Those three is who a higher is made up of. That's him. Christ is his right hand. It is his power. It is his stretched out arm, and it's his right hand. If you ever do a search, you probably, I'm just going to I might even do a little exaggerating. You might get 250 verses in this whole Bible regarding the right hand and the stretched out arm. You might get more. I don't know. But I'm going to say 250 verses. To me, something wrong with you if you feel that that's not worth seeking into. To know the right hand and the stretched out arm, meaning the right hand and this arm of the right hand. That's the power of who he is. And that's why it says 3 times. The mystery of who? Now, why is there a mystery of a higher? Why is there a mystery of the Father? And why is there a mystery of Hamashiach, which the world called Christ? Why is there a mystery detached to that? Sister Deborah been saying this, she's been on this Deborah platform. It is not what you think it is. In the beginning, Genesis 1:26, us was Christ. You see Christ right there now? That's who that was. Okay? A higher, we know, is the Father. So when it's saying the mystery of the Father, no, the mystery of a higher and of the Father and of Hamashiach. That's the power. Christ has always been the power, you guys. That's how Yeshua got up, through the power. That's what left Yeshua in Gethsemane. He was asking the power to take away the bitter cup. But then he said, no, not thy will, but my will. Then he asked the power, why have thou forsaken me? Because he started to feel what was happening on the cross. You see? Abba, Abba, why have thou forsaken me? He was talking to the power. And that had to come off of him so that he can die like you and I die as a man. A real death. So all of that he couldn't die a real death if Hamashiach was still in him, the power. He couldn't die real death because the power was in him to keep him from dying. You better stop that. You better stop telling people stuff that they don't need to know. You better quit that. Woo, Father, I don't know where you going with that one. Woo! But yeah. I'm going to go to Colossians chapter 1 because that was deep. I'm going to Colossians chapter 1, verse 25. I'm going to have to go back over that. Woo! Colossians chapter 1, verse 25. And it reads, did we go to 3? Wait a minute. No. Let's stop. Let me go back. Colossians chapter 2, verse 2 and 3. And it says in 2 again, that their hearts might be comfort, being knitted together in give and gave, and until all riches of the full assurance of understanding to the acknowledgement of the mystery of YAHWEH and the Father, and it says Christ, but I'm going to say Hamashiach. There's a mystery, and I just explained it to you. Verse 3 is showing me a black star, so that leads me to understand I should not have missed 3. It's important. In whom, verse 3, in whom are hid all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. Hallelujah. Oh, Father God. That's a good one. Colossians chapter 1, verse 3 said, in whom are hidden all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. Where? It's hidden where? Where's the YAHWEH, the Father, and his power? See, that power has been hidden since the beginning of time. It's been hidden in YAHWEH. It's his right hand. 99.1 trillion affinity don't know that. You got everybody that done opened millions of church and sanctuaries and opened up millions of YouTube pages and millions of everything and don't understand the mystery of who Christ is. They don't understand it. And they care not. Why? Because it's like we as a people been in this captivity for so long. We have adopted and adapted to everything they tell us, they said to us, and they continue to teach us and show us, giving us fake food, fake water. I mean, everything they giving us, we still go after it like they giving something away. You see, act like we ain't never had nothing, and all they doing is killing you, and you happy that they killed you. But that goes back to Deuteronomy 28, where he said, until you are destroyed. Their job is to work on you until you are fully destroyed, and you have been. Okay, so I thank him for that, and he was letting you know, and whom are hidden all the treasures of wisdom and of knowledge. So when Sister Deborah is talking on this Deborah platform, telling you the wisdom of the flesh, the knowledge of the flesh, and the understanding of the flesh that is detached to your emotions, your feelings, and your personal feelings and your personal opinion, that's in the flesh. There's a knowledge and a wisdom that's in your spirit, y'all. And I like what it's saying here. It calls it treasures that's hidden. That wisdom and that knowledge is hidden in understanding. That's the fullness of the mystery of a higher, the Father and Hamashiach. Woo, boy, I said a whole lot there, and I know many ain't gonna get it, but that's all right. I like it because I'm gonna go back over this video because it's gonna be a teaching that I think I'm gonna enjoy going over it and seeing it again. Colossians chapter 1, verse 25, and it reads, Colossians chapter 1, verse 25 and 26, whereof I am made a minister according to the dispensation of a higher, which is given to me for you to fulfill the word of Yah. That's powerful. That is powerful, because to fulfill the word, see, that's a mystery in itself. See, a lot of people don't understand when it says word of Yah, is spelled W-O-R-D, of Yah. That's letting you know that Yah has elected, appointed, and anointed this individual to speak on his behalf. You read through a lot of this here, baby. It is not the word of Yah. It is not the word of Yah. But you would never know it until you have the Ruach HaKodesh that does the true teaching of all things. And he breaks that down to you. It's things in here inspired by him. But until you know the difference between this word and the word, which is a higher, then there's two different ones. Just like I said, the wisdom is in the flesh. You got a wisdom in the spirit. The knowledge is in the flesh. You got a knowledge is in the spirit. You got understanding in the flesh. You got to understand it in the spirit, which is the Ruach HaKodesh. Same thing with the word. You got a word on the outer man for the flesh, but you got a word on the inner man, which is a higher. You see, that's the whole thing of it. You see, so when this one here is saying in verse Colossians chapter 1 and verse 25, whereof I am made a minister, made by Ahaya, a minister according to the dispensation of Ahaya, which is given. It is what? It is given to me for you to fulfill the word. Hallelujah. Of Yah. That's powerful, you guys. Verse 26. Even, now listen to this. Not only the word, but watch this here. Even the mystery which has been hidden from ages and from generations, but now it's being manifested to the saints. Now, you know what's scary about that? All the messages that I have poured out throughout time. That stuff was potent. Stuff was real good information. But it doesn't matter. That's why he tells me it's finished. Because they didn't get it from me, Deborah. They didn't get it from every prophet I sung before thee. They ain't going to get it. Now, you open up the churches, they go running in there and they'll get it then. They'll get the lies. They'll get the being deceived. They'll get all that. But spirit and truth, they don't go that route. I love that. He said, spirit and truth, they don't know nothing about that. That's the mystery. See, that's why people don't understand when I'm saying spirit and truth. That's why I say you can get me on one end, baby, but catch me on the other side. That's what I mean on spirit and truth. Then you messed up from the floor. You can get me on one side, give or take 20%. You can get me. But on the other side, you're going to be messed up from the floor, because that's where you're going to be. You're going to have to stand down. I mean, all the way down. You see? So here, listen to this. In Colossians chapter 1, verse 26, even the mystery which has been hidden from ages. What's Sister Deborah be saying? 100 times, 1 million times, trillion. Happened thousands of years ago and from generations. But now it's being manifested to his saints. Now, what is the difference from Colossians and Revelation chapter 10? Colossians is still letting you know that it's still being ministered. Revelation said, tell them, Deborah, it's finished. Colossians is still being able to minister the mystery to the saints. But Revelation said, oh, it's over. Revelation said, no more mystery. The angel coming, no more mystery. It's finished. Hallelujah. And don't ever think that a higher don't start something and don't finish it. When he have a beginning, he gonna always have an end. And don't let nobody lie to you. This is what bothers me more than anything. How can a people be so mentally gone when if he started something, wouldn't you want to search the end? If we are in captivity and we are under a curse, don't you want to know where is the end of it? This leads sister to believe that they gone, Deborah. They are gone 100 because they don't search the end game of the curse that has been put on them, but they over there searching history, flesh history. But you can't search the end game of the curse. Okay, say for instance, if you go to you have a breast exam and they tell you they see a lump. Okay, they do the biopsy and do the MRI and everything. Okay, then they tell you it looks like we're gonna have to do the biopsy. Then they do the biopsy and they say, okay, it's cancer. Okay, don't you want to know the plan for the whole overall? Or do you just want to know I got cancer and I'm walking around? This is how the minds of we, Sister Deborah included, are gone. Walking around with the cancer. Whatever. Wait a minute. What about a plan to eat right or to? No, it don't matter. This is us, Hebrew Israelites, the children of Israel, just walking around, gone. They could care less that the cancer is there and it is growing and it is getting ready to take you out. Okay, so you don't want to know nothing, just but let it sit there and just walk around, whatever. And the doctor told you this a year ago, and you ain't never had nothing else done after that, just walking around in pain, aches at night, don't care. Well, that's how the Hebrew Israelites, the house of Israel, the Hebrew Israelites, the tribe of Judah is today. Gone to where they don't even feel the pain of this turmoil of the curse and the suffering. They don't even feel the pain anymore. That's why they don't feel when their brothers are out there doing what Ahia said. He said, don't take the lives of your brothers. He said, and don't kill. Thou should not kill. Thou should not steal. Wait a minute. Hold up, Father Yah. Hold up, Father Yah. I got a question. If you said that we are to uphold the commandments, and we know the commandments is you, and you are the commandment. Okay, but you got these Hebrew Israelites saying keep the commandments and keep the laws, but you don't hear them out there telling none of their brothers pull up your pants, but they won't tell a woman to wrap her head. They ain't telling none of these brothers to pull up your pants. Stop this killing, because the law said, the commandment said. Oh, they ain't telling the men that. Instead, they tell them go out there to kill them. We hate them. And you all sit around not even understanding that is exactly what they're feeding. So if you wonder why it's getting worse and worse, it's because they're feeding it to the men, to the young men now, to where the young men is doing it till they look. You don't see all it on YouTube, all these young men, 16, 15, 14, killing these young girls. Come on now. How you said this is a product of them building this here religion, and it is built up on hate. It is not built up on a higher, it's built up on a lot of hate. And you think he's going to come down and stop it? Wait a minute. And you don't even want to know that there's an end game to your curse? Is that you gone? But what happens if you gone? Once you are gone, if you are in him, your spirit overrides your flesh anyway. It takes over. You see what I'm saying, you guys? So it's not like, because your flesh is gone, you ain't going to be able to walk upright in a higher. Oh, no, your spirit is going to override it. It was gone anyway. When we came in our mother's womb and we were born, of a few hours, we was already loaded with a bunch of wicked and evil, ready to prepare for us. You see? So it's gone. But if your spirit has a higher in it, it's no way that spirit going to give up on that flesh and let it be gone here and in the spirit. No, you'll be still able to function. So when you see in all this stuff, that's why you see a lot of stuff. And I get tired of talking about it, because I think about back in slavery, how they was burning these men up, hanging them, and all this raping and killing and cutting heads off, cutting private area. I'm thinking all that. Didn't my father see that? Yes, I saw it, Deborah. So you don't have to remind me. I've seen it before it even happened. Yes, I was still at rest. I told you I rest. Why should I come down to protect and do something for a bunch of stiff-necked rebellion, disobedient whoremonger, profane my name, disrespect me, polluted the land I had prepared for them, floating with milk and honey? They done everything to me, but I'm going to come down and run down when something happened to them. Come on now, Deborah, talk to me. You see, we don't understand. We so busy representing the idols and those who play on the role. Look how in love they are with Enoch. Look how in love they are with the lost books. If they had that type of feeling for a higher, like they do all these books that lost and these fringes and tying their heads up and want to have a woman submissive, and they 7 wives and having many wives as they please, if they put that much energy into a higher, they'll be all right. But they ain't going to do that, because he said stiff-necked, rebellion, and disobedient they are. And guess what he said? The way that they are, Deborah, they came in, and when they go out, they're going to be the same. So if you're thinking that he's going to come in here and in this curse and take you up out of here, you's lost. He said you're going to be going in and coming out. See, you're going to still have that mindset gone when you leave out. Where it's going to change is when he gets you to the promised land. And until then, I'm sorry. So run around here without the spirit of the Most High or higher. Don't have it. Don't have the light. Don't care about spirit and truth. It don't matter. He said it was over, Deborah, before it started. Just get with my program. Hallelujah. I hear you, Father. Yeah. Now, let's go to Ephesians chapter. I got 2 more verses and then we up out of here, okay? Go to Ephesians chapter 3 and 4. Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 4 and through 6. Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 4. Whereby, when ye read, ye may understand my knowledge in the mystery of Christ. That right there alone shows you've been lost all this time. You've been lost all this time. And your flesh have made you content with being so lost till you think you awakening to some understanding. You think you in there. You think you know something. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. He just told you in Revelation chapter 10. The mystery is finished. Only way you're going to find that mystery that is done away with, you can find it in the prophets, my servants. He ain't talking about the false prophets. He ain't talking about the false teacher. He's saying his servants. And his servants going to come talking like I'm talking. To tell you the truth. They're going to have to come talking like I'm talking. But we all don't have to be the same. He got a mission in this prophet. He got a mission in this one. I'm learning that I am a judge and a right now word speaker of the Most High, higher. Okay? So you might have those that is a judge, the right now, just to judge people right then and there. But they're going to have some backing up somewhere. Okay? 99 trillion of the prophets on the earth today knows nothing about my Father's mystery and never will, because it wasn't predestined to them. It wasn't ordained unto them. Ahijah foreknew them not to be his servant, the prophets, before the foundation of the world. So that's why he was able to say and suffer Yeshua to say it, suffer the prophets to say it, and he himself have said it in time past in the book. Yeshua said, the disciple says, tell us what the end would be. You know what Yeshua said? First of all, let me tell you, while you worried about what the end going to be, let me tell you, don't be deceived. Because that's the worstest thing, you guys. I know y'all don't understand that. But that is the number one thing that'll let you know you're not who you think you are. It's when you are deceived by all these platforms to believe. And you run on it, going to, it's sickening to me when you see them running here, going here, come back, go here, because they lost without a cause, trying to get comfort in their emotions and their feelings and their personal opinion and their personal understanding. So they go here, and when they finish, you ain't go nowhere but in the midnight hour, during the midnight season. The trumpet been blown. The trumpet has been blown. I don't want to be out there when the trumpet has already been blown. I don't want to be out there in the midst of the judgment in the center. I don't want to be out there in the fire trying to find somebody saying something that I want to hear. I want to feel. I want to understand. I want to believe. I want to say this right. Go. Okay. Now listen to this one here. Ephesians chapter 3, verse 4. Whereby when ye read, ye may understand my knowledge in the mystery of Christ. 4 years I've been on this devil platform, and I've been trying to teach and bring the mystery forth as much as possible. So I'm blessed by the Father to say, when he say to me, it's finished, that means, okay, Deborah, all the mystery you got, you can spill it or you can keep it. It's finished. Revelation chapter 10 has already told you. Chapter 10, Revelation chapter 10, verse 6 through 7. It's finished. We're not on season and we're not on a time and season. He said we are in that day of that hour. So a lot of things, everybody thinking that when they read here, oh, it's this. No. It's finished. It's finished, like Sister Deborah said. Okay, now that's what he's saying in Revelation. The angel is saying, hey, he says finished. All his mystery is finished. That means if you're going to get it, you're going to get it from his servants, the prophets. If not, you're just out there. Okay, now listen to this here. Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 4. Whereby when ye read, ye may understand my knowledge in the mystery of Christ. There go that Christ again. What is the mystery of Christ? We just read, matter of fact, a couple of verses. The mystery of Christ is in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. The mystery of Christ. Where is not, wait a minute, hold up, Father, Yah. Hold up, Father, Yah. Where is Yeshua? I'm looking for him. Where is he at, Father, Yah? Deborah, this ain't Yeshua. This is my power. Yeshua is an angel that I used to sacrifice, to be the blood sacrifice. And I made him, Deborah, a little lower than the other angels. For the mission of the human sacrifice, Deborah, Yeshua came as the Son of Man. And I came down as the Son of Yah. To make sure that the Son of Man mission is in full completion. Couldn't have been done. Okay, so here it is in Ephesians chapter 3, verse 4. It bounced right back on to the beginning. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. That's the mystery. I've been on here 4 years. And out of 4 years, I still feel that not one can grip who us is, even if they saw it 4 or 5 times, saying that Christ has a mystery. Then they look and see 250, maybe more, about the right hand and the stretched out arm being the Father's power. They still wouldn't get it. It's finished, he said. Don't break your heart, no mind, your struggle. Don't do anything. You don't have to. For what? And for what reason? People, they don't want anything, Deborah. How you know? He is the creator of all things from the beginning and the end. Yes, we can walk around pretending. We can make people think we in it and we want it. We doing this and we do. Ahaya said, them are clown clothes. That's what he allowed me to say. Those are clown clothes you got on. Take them clown clothes off, because when you finish, they're going to come off anyway, because you're going 6 foot under, unless you're going to wear your clown clothes with you, which you probably will. So here it is. Beautiful, beautiful example of 4 years of saying to these people, Father, that the word in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 is the mystery. That's why you got 1 million and 1 trillion different religions formed from Genesis 1 and verse 26. Everybody trying to tell you who us is. It was always a mystery, but it was given to those in who Ahaya has given it to disperse the word out. Okay, now listen to this. Verse 4. Whereby when you read, you may understand my knowledge in the mystery of Christ, the mystery of Hamashiach. What mystery at, Father, y'all? Deborah, you just told him the mystery. He was present in the beginning. He's my right hand. You told them at the end, when Yeshua said, take away this bitter cup, not my will, but thy will. He was asking the power, which is Christ, to take away the bitter cup, the feeling, the emotions, and the pain of agony that he was suffering in Gethsemane. And then he said, take away this bitter cup, not my will, let thy will. He was talking to Christ, the power, who Ahaya is, the Son of Man is Christ, not Yeshua. That's why when he got on the cross, he said, Abba, Abba, why have thou forsaken me? Why? Because the power had to let him hang on the cross alone. And what Ahaya did, swoop, instant, so he wouldn't do suffering. So he wouldn't feel that tremendous. He felt the pain, because as the spirit ascended up, he began to feel it in his feet. Once that spirit came up, allowing him to pay the price for our sin in the flesh, spirit of Ahaya can't get on that cross, because Yeshua would have never gave up the ghost. You crazies, I don't know what. If he got the Ruach in him, the spirit of the Most High in him, the breath of Ahaya in him, the spirit of the Most High in him, all power of Ahaya in him, the word in him, none of that hangs on the cross. Only the flesh. So it can represent the flesh of who we are, who have gripped all this nasty sin. That's what he had to die on the cross. And that's why the spirit went up and extended. You see? He knew his hour was treacherous. He knew, because now he's feeling it in the flesh like you and I feel. You see? That's the mystery. The mystery held, what did I tell you? If you miss Genesis 1 and 2, you can hang it up. You ain't never got no understanding. And you ain't gonna get it. Because Genesis 1 and 2 is the mystery of many things of the Most High or higher. Now, I got a question now. I'm Father Yah. Now, I know I'm wrong for this, but I'm going to step into this anyway. I got a question here, Father Yah. When here in Ephesians chapter 3, verse 4 said, whereby when ye read, ye may understand my knowledge in my mystery of Hamashiach, which is Christ. Wait a minute now. Hey, hold up. Okay, I got it now. The mystery is only can be received You can only have that if a higher give it to you, and he has to be in you, as great as he is in the world. Greater he is. He has to give you that. So this is why you see in the year 2022, all these people, these prophets, these false prophets and prophetess, these false teachers. Now you got more. I'm gonna tell y'all something. You got 100 times more false teachers than you do false prophets. Mm-hmm. You got a lot of false prophets, though. But the reason why I say that is they are prophets claiming to be prophets. They're not what you call real prophets. You see? So they really just teachers. That's why I say you got more false teachers than anything. Now, here it goes in verse 5, which in other ages were not made known unto the sons of men. You see this? I want you to look at this. Just look at what it says. Which in other ages was not made known unto the sons of males. For if something to be made known to them, if the woman's supposed to keep silent, why ain't the males telling the sons? Something wrong with that, isn't it? Listen to what it says. Which in other ages was not made known unto the sons of men. Wait a minute. Don't they supposed to teach? Wait a minute. The woman's supposed to keep quiet. As it is known, and it is now revealed unto his holy apostles, prophets by the Spirit. Now you see holy apostles and the prophets by the Spirit. They did not even get it until the Ruach HaKodesh stepped on the scene. So even throughout the whole Bible, they never had it. Only until the Spirit, by the Spirit, is it revealed. It reveals you wisdom and knowledge. And see, that's what Solomon didn't have. He didn't have that understanding of what the wisdom and knowledge he understood under the, or he learned about under the sun. Because if he did, he'll understand it, or he'd be beautiful in what he said. But he didn't get that. He only got wisdom and knowledge, what he asked for. But here I like it because it says, which in other hands were not made known unto the sons of men. Okay. As it is now revealed unto the holy apostles. Okay. And it's talking back in the Bible days. Watch this here. And prophets by the Ruach HaKodesh. See, that's why he said his servants, the prophets, by his Spirit, are these things revealed to them. Okay. This lead me back to realize when I was 4, that's why I was grabbing all those Bibles trying to read them. That's why I had Bibles after Bibles. I had cross. I didn't know nothing about no crosses as far as what it represents. I had them all under my mattress, under my bed. I had Bibles under my mattress, under my pillow. I slept with Bibles, everything at that age. Young child. What was that? See, that Spirit was always present with me. Always was. It's no way I could see the visions and dreams that I saw at that age had not the Spirit been with me and be able to tell you about it today and uphold it and go through what I went through. And what you would say to me, you would say, well, Sister Deborah, you sitting here talking all this about what you went through and all what you saw and all this and that, but you ain't really go through nothing. That's what you would say. I mean, I went through, no, to be honest, that, don't forget, I told you had the hedge around me. So it's a lot of things I didn't go through. I wasn't like in my neighborhood I came up, I was the one that all the little boys in the neighborhood in my grade and in my high school, they ate. You see everybody else, oh, lay down. Oh, I had her. But Deborah, where's she been? I always had a crush on you, but you were so mean. That's a part of the hedge to keep your tails away from me. Okay, so the last and least, and we're going to, no, it says Mark chapter 4. Let's go to Mark chapter 4. You all need to go back over this video and make sure you get the verses and read over them and see what the Father do for you as far as revealing things to you. In Mark chapter 4, verse 10. And it said the last one is 1 Timothy 3 and 6. And it's down further from the paper. So I got Timothy, but let me go on. This is where I'm at. But this here I see Timothy and it says last. So let's go to Mark chapter 4, verse 10. And when he was alone, they that were about him with the 12 asked of him the parable. Now watch this here. And Yeshua said to them, unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of Yah. That's the keys, you guys. And I remember when I first got on YouTube, I was telling them, man, why you don't open up the door? Put the keys in the door. And I was just so upset. Y'all put your key in the door, open up the door. And I couldn't get not one male to comprehend the fact that if you on this devil platform leading this multitude of people, you got a church, you got a organization, you got a group, you mean you leading them and you ain't got the door and keys? What? How can you lead without the keys? But as I continue, I shut down, y'all. I opened up, came up with the same mindset. Y'all, come on now, give the people the keys. Get the door with the keys. You're almost there. Come on, just stick the door and keys in the door and open up. I was wanting them to bring out the mystery. Bring out what the word stands for, what it means. They couldn't do it. And I've been on here 4 years, ain't found not one that can actually do it. Isn't that sad? Now watch this here. Why? Because when you saw the 12 and Yeshua asked them, who do they say that I am? No, who do they say that the Son of Man is? And they said Elijah, the prophet. But then he said, then who do they say that I am is? I am is. And guess what he said? See, people didn't know the mystery in that. Let me give you the mystery in that. See, this is why I know. I just thank the Father because he's doing something to me and for me. And that's, to me, that's all that's important right now. And that's another part of the mystery. When I'm gonna give you another mystery too. When and the disciple was there, Yeshua asked them, who do they say the Son of Man is? And they say he's Elijah, he's the prophet, he's this. And then he asked them at that same moment, when who do they say I am is? And that was it. Who do they say I am is? I am is a higher. And he is what? Why is Yeshua? Listen to this. This is a mystery, you guys. Why would Yeshua ask them two separate questions? If he knew that him and the Father is one in this mission. If he knew that, why was he asking them two times? Who is the Son of Man and who is I am? I am is a higher, in case y'all didn't know that. So he was asking them, who do they say that I am? Not first he said, who do they say that the Son of Man is? And then he was said, the disciples were saying, oh, they said that you are the prophet Elijah and so on and so on. And then he said, and who do they say that I am is? Wait a minute. Yeshua, you asked two. You asked two, and no one saw it. You asked two, and no one saw it. You can teach this book all your life, but the mystery is to those to whom Ahia has given it unto. Because when he asked that twice, who do they say that the Son of Man is, and who do they say that I am is? You see, he knew that the disciples weren't supposed to know who the I am was, because the I am was in the Son of Man, which is Yeshua. But Yeshua said when Peter said the son of Yah. See, Peter said the son of Yah. Yeshua said, wait a minute, I didn't come here to reveal that to you. So only one could have gave you that is heaven. Wait a minute, we're gonna build you the church. You're gonna be the church because you shouldn't have been able to know who Hamashiach was in me. And he knew. Same mystery it talked about in 3 verses. I showed you the mystery of Christ in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. The same mystery. Who is that? The power of Yah, his right hand. He's Christ. He is Yah with the son of Yah that came down with the son of man. So he asked 2 questions. Who is the son of man? Who do they say I am? Not they say that the son of man is. And they said a prophet and so on. Then he asked, but who do they say I am? And then Peter say, the son of Yah. That's the mystery, Yah. 99 trillion, and even you yourself couldn't even digest that because it's too deep. You will run away from this channel because you never heard it, you never digested, nor do you understand it. And it's good, it's a good thing because he said, in the wheat shall be separated. Praise the mighty Yah. And what happened was when he said that, that's why Yeshua kind of stepped back and said, wait a minute, flesh and blood didn't reveal that to you. That means I'm the son of man. I'm created as flesh and blood. I did not reveal that to you. The Father in heaven must have gave you that because I know I didn't reveal that to you. But then that's when he set up the keys to the kingdom to Peter. He didn't set it up with the 12. He set it up with Peter. Okay? Why? Because Peter was able to step into the spiritual realm. Ha! And do what? Get spirit and truth. So here, you better get these keys because these keys going to show you what else is up in heaven. You see? That's what it's all about. Okay? So we hear in Mark chapter 4 and verse 10. And when the disciples came to Yeshua in verse 11, they was asking him about the parables. But listen to what Yeshua said unto them. Unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom. But unto them that are without, or these things are done in parables. See, so it's given to only those that are higher has given to know the mystery. So when Sister Deborah is talking, don't think that Sister Deborah all this and all that, she don't know what she's talking about. Just because he ain't gave it to you don't mean I don't know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Matter of fact, I'm okay about what I'm talking about. Or you? Because of you, if he ain't gave you the mystery of the kingdom, he ain't gave you the keys to the kingdom, he ain't gave you the mystery to the kingdom, you out there. And that's what a lot of people are doing. That's why he said many are called, but few are chosen. What's this thing with this few? You said very few shall find the gate of life, the narrow gate. You said very few shall, if it was so, it will fool the very elect, which is very few. What's this thing with few? Because it's in him. I ain't got them all. All of them don't know what I'm talking about, Deborah. It's only who I select. I select them from heaven. I don't let earth select what's mine. I created everything on the earth. So I select everything to be where it's at. And guess what I learned yesterday, you guys? I learned that the Israelites never did cry out for a higher. I did not know that. I thought when they was in captives, they were crying out for the Father to help them. They were crying out because it says they were crying out toward the bondage that they were in. So they were just hooping and hollering because of the bondage they were in. They wasn't hooping and hollering wanting a higher to come and save them because they want a relationship with him. It made sense. Now, that makes a lot of sense to me now. Why? Because this is why Sister Deborah was confused with how did they cry and holler for you, and when you come to stand in the gap for their sake, they still act like you were nothing. It's because he wasn't nothing to them. Never was, even to today. I don't care if you say you're a Hebrew Israelite, you the tribe of Judah. You don't show no characteristics that you represent a higher power. Now, this is here. It's 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 6. This is the end. 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 6. Not a narcissist, less being lifted up with pride. No, that's not it. That's not it. Where did I get that one from? That's not it. Let me see if it's 2 Timothy. It must be 2 Timothy. Nope, it's not 2 Timothy. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. I can't go no further than that. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. It might be this. Nope. So I, Sister Deborah, say I appreciate each and every last one of you all in the live chat. It's good to see you all, and I hope you got something out of it. And I truly got something out of it, even when I was speaking it unto you, because the Spirit of the Most High was allowing me to come and show you some of the mystery. Let me show you another mystery. Another mystery is, and this comes when you thirst for spirit and truth, when you thirst after righteousness. I'm gonna give you this mystery, and I'm gonna let you go. When they came to take Yeshua HaMashiach away in Gethsemane, and they was taking him away, they had knives, shapers, all kind of weapons, sticks, clubs, everything. Live or die, they wanted to take him. Okay, so when I'm gonna give you one of them, I might give you the other one. Let me give it to you right quick. When they come to take him, Peter, who denied 3 times, did what he said he would do. But Yeshua rebuked him when he said, I will die with thee or for thee. That's what Peter said. And Yeshua rebuked him for saying that, because Yeshua knew that I come to die for all mankind. You cannot die with me and for me. That's my mission. So Yeshua felt that, hey, this is Satan stepping in and speaking like this to you. So when they got into Gethsemane, and they came to take Yeshua away, if you think for 1 minute that if you finna take somebody from the head gang member from amongst the gang, and you got 100 on this side and you got 6 on this side, who would be bound to lose their lives? These here got weapons on top of weapons. These here might have a few knives. So when Peter did what he said he was going to do, he was going to draw the sword. He drew the sword and he took off one of the soldiers' ear. Okay. What happened in that stage? Sister Deborah got silly. She sure did. I was young, but I was silly. I said, wait a minute. Something wrong with this picture. That don't even make no sense. I'm speaking to the Father. I'm in school. I'm in class. That don't make no sense. Peter drew the sword, but yet he gonna deny him later. I said, that don't make no sense. So I'm like, okay, Father, y'all, come on with it. Kind of help me here, because this don't make no sense. Why is it that Peter drew the sword? What, to me, something happened in between the time Peter drew the sword and took the ear off. Something happened. The Father had to come to me as a father to his daughter. Look here, Deborah. When he drew the sword and took the soldier ear off, right then should have been a war. But Yeshua HaMashiach froze the whole scene. And I said to the Father, now you're talking. Now you're talking. Now it makes sense. Because somebody like me, wait a minute, no. Something wrong with that picture. Something wrong with it. The same one you saying gonna deny you is finna throw it out. He pulled the sword. He drew blood. The soldier's ear fell onto the ground. And I said, wait a minute, that don't make no sense. And the father told me, look here, Deborah. He broke it down to me, y'all. And this is what I speak to you all about the mystery. He said, now you see, when Peter drew the sword, the man's ear, right then there should have been a war. But Yeshua HaMashiach froze the whole scene. The whole scene was frozen. Frozen! He stooped down, picked up the ear, laid it back to the man's ear. Turned to Peter. You draw the sword. You live by the sword. You die by the sword. And brought it right back to play. The soldiers never realized that, hey, this one on this side had already drew the sword. See, because people didn't understand that the hour was near. That means the Father's will is about to take place. So the hour was near. Yeshua didn't have time to play with Peter. Okay, so he had to freeze everything, put it back in order so that nothing would be out of place. Because once Peter drew that sword, 6 against 100, it should have been a war. Why? Why should it have been a war? Let me tell y'all the mystery. Because they were to get Yeshua dead or alive. That's it. Dead or alive, bring him in. That's it. Do you think they was with all that, those swords and everything, clubs and all that, knives, to come in to take him easy? No. They said, we coming to get your butt dead or alive. They sending us to get you dead or alive. So they came prepared. Either you going to come alive or you going to come dead. We ready. So when Peter drew the sword, that should have been a war right there. But Ahia, Yeshua HaMashiach, really Ahia, but Yeshua HaMashiach, the scene was frozen enough for Yeshua to pick up the ear, put it back on the soldier, turn to Peter to say what he said to Peter, and bring everything back to play. Where Peter didn't even see what happened, nor did the soldiers. Come get me. Why? Because his hour was near. What was that hour? The will of my Father. That has been orchestrated from the heaven. But see, the whole ideal of it, I was like, well, what was the purpose for that? He said, for you. I'm like, for me, what? So you can see the power of who I am. I can be in and I can be out. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! I can be in and I can be out. But only I can be in at the same time and out. I remember teaching that when I first got on YouTube because I thought that was so powerful when he would tell me, Deborah, I'm the only one can be in and out at the same time. So that's what he did. He had it the time frozen. So Peter can pick the sword because it's supposed to be a war. If you got two on both sides and they finna fight, dead or alive, they're supposed to bring in Yeshua. But they got weapons like they finna take him dead. But see, he had to freeze the scene because the hour was near. And the plan wasn't for them to come take him in the eyes of Yah. It was for him to go and do the whole hourly thing that was taking place. But now listen, remember the reason why Peter denied 3 times was because Peter said to Yeshua that no, when Yeshua told him they're going to take him away and that he's going to be in a sense, crucified and taken away, and they're going to take him away and they're going to, kill him. And Peter got mad and said, oh, no, it ain't. I will die with thee. I would fight and I would die with thee. Did not Peter keep his word? See, y'all missed that too, didn't you? You missed it, didn't you? You missed that. That's why the curse was put on Peter. Can you come out of this curse you in? Why? Because the power of Father's right hand put you in a curse that you cannot come out. So the curse that was put on Peter, he couldn't come out of that to deny 3 times. It wasn't Peter denying, it was the curse. Didn't know that either, did you? You didn't know that either. See, Peter had a Alzheimer's curse put on him. It was so frustrating to him, he began to curse. Said some words out of line. Because he couldn't figure out, well, what are y'all talking about? Wasn't you with him? No, I wasn't. He wasn't saying it because he was afraid they was going to take him away. He was the one that drew the sword to start the fight. So he ain't got no fear in him. Peter could care less. But he's trying to figure out, what are they talking about? The denial was a curse, just like the curse we're in. Can you get out? Can you get out? Can you get out? When Peter couldn't get out of the curse that Yeshua HaMashiach had put on him to deny him 3 times. So it wasn't Peter denying him. It was the curse that the mighty Yah had put on him to deny him, to wipe away what? I bet you y'all don't know. Bet you that y'all don't know. He had to wipe away the idea that man thought that he gonna lay down his life beside Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, for the sin of man. He had to wipe it away to let you know, Peter, you flesh and blood. You man. You can't come down here and take the position of Yeshua HaMashiach and die with him. That's Satan with the mission of Yeshua HaMashiach. Get behind me. Furthermore, I tell you what, I put the curse of denial on you to show that you ain't got no way in the world that you would fight for the Messiah. So we will put that curse on you to show you who you are, to show them who you are, flesh and blood. You ain't gonna step into the mission of what a higher. I tell you what, I'm gonna put on you 3 denials, and you're gonna deny. So when Peter was denying the 3 times, he was frustrated in it. He wasn't just denying it like, oh, I'm gonna deny because I'm scared they're gonna take me. I'm gonna deny. No, because he said, what? I'm gonna die with you. So he didn't care if they killed him with him, or he didn't care if he was with him. He wanted to be with him because he drew the sword. He drew the blood. So what happened? Peter say, I don't know what y'all talking about. And they asked, each time they asked him, he got worse and worse. So he had the spirit of Alzheimer's on him. That's how heavy that curse was for him to deny the one that he'd been walking with and been his number 1 man all this time. He's sitting around talking about he didn't know. He wasn't with him. You see? That was a curse, you guys, just like the curse of us being here. You think Peter could have not did that? So this is how, the reason why I said like that to you all, because the church, when I used to hear the church teach it and preach it, I always knew they didn't have it. They just didn't have it. They didn't have none of it. It's only given, like he said, it's a mystery. It's only given to those who a higher has appointed and anointed. And that's not, I don't mean everybody. So therefore, when I read it and Peter was denying, I was like, Father, wait a minute, hold up. He denying it, Father, but he denying it like he really don't know. And then the Father said, yeah, Deborah, you knew I cursed him. He cursed him. That's why he don't know. And then I said, well, is this something like all timers? He said, yes. He strictly, his whole mind just really didn't know what they were talking about. And I'm going to show you how Yeshua had hid the scene. Watch how Yeshua HaMashiach had hid the scene when the ear got cut off to keep it from war. Because see, the hour was near, but they still had to go to the cross. They had to do the whole Ahijah had planned, so they couldn't afford to start a war with the hundreds that came out to get Yeshua and Peter. So they had to, Yeshua had to freeze it and put the ear back on and said to Peter, you live by the sword, you die, and then let the soldiers take him away according to the will of the Father. But then I asked the Father, I said, well, why would you let Peter cut the ear? He said, I'm trying to send you a message, Deborah. So throughout a lot of things that I thirst for and I asked questions, he was always on time. I mean, he let me go all the way in to see exactly how everything was frozen. The ear was picked up, placed back on the soldier to where the war wouldn't be in Gethsemane, where they take Yeshua's life, because he was in that hour. It wasn't the hour completed. He was in that hour. Okay. So what happened when Peter started to deny, it was because of the curse. He was supposed to deny 3 times. Watch it. I'm young in church. I'm hearing these preachers and pastors, even as I got older, they teaching about Peter. His denying tale. He denied him. He denied him. Just like people today. Peter denied him. Baby. You off course 100%. Peter didn't deny him. Peter had the same curse you got on you, except his curse from the higher power was that he denied 3 times. Let me tell you how it got cleared off. So the day of Acts, the day of Pentecostal, when they was in the upper room, don't forget Peter was there. The Ruach came in and he came into them. And Peter was still the spokesman of all the disciples and everybody in the upper room. So Peter began to tell them, this is the one that he stood up before the people who say, are these men drunken? And they speak in a language of other nations or whatever. And Peter stood up in the crowd and said, that one that you all, what did he say? Uh, he said, Peter say, you not executed, but you the one that you, in a sense, what they did to Yeshua. Peter brought it up the day of Pentecost. Peter brought it right back up. And the churches said, how can Peter stand up there and have the nerve to have anything to say? How you don't have anything to say when you denied him 3 times? You see? Let me tell you how the denial came off of Peter, because the guilt was still there. When the Father came to, when Yeshua came the last time out by the I think it was the ocean, and Peter was fishing. He didn't have no clothes on. So Peter was out there fishing with the net. So he caused all the fishes to get into Peter's neck, and Peter into Peter's net. And Peter drew the fish net onto the shore. And when he got up there, there was Yeshua HaMashiach standing before the disciples, and Peter was standing there. Now, this is how I sit and try to tell y'all. You think you know something, you don't know nothing. You just want to know something. Okay. Peter, that Peter had done, Yeshua had came, he had revealed himself. He's shown himself to the disciples several times, but this particular time, before he ascended for the last time, he had to clear that curse. He had to clear that curse off of Peter. Why? Because Yeshua said, on this rock, the church was going to be built, and the gates of hell shall not prevail. So what is going on? Peter was still feeling some guilt. He was really feeling some guilt about him denying, because the curse was still on him. Y'all didn't know that, did you? The curse was still on him regarding him denying him 3 times. He still couldn't understand, well, why did I deny it? Why did I do that? So Yeshua, before he ascended, and he saw him out there fishing, and he made sure that he caught a lot of fishes in the net. This is what Yeshua did. And Peter poured it up to the shore, and the disciples all were there, and they were, in a sense, kind of doing the last fellowship. And Peter was there, and Yeshua said to Peter, Peter, do thou love me? Peter knew what he was talking about, because that guilt. But this is how the Father erased Peter's guilt, because Peter had a mission to complete. Peter said, thou knowest. He said, Peter, do thou love me? Peter said, thou knowest all things. And then what did he do? He turned around and took that curse off by saying, Peter, do thou love me? 3 times. And each 3 times, he said, feed my sheep. No, he said, feed my lamb. And then he said, feed my sheep. Feed my sheep. Each time he asked him, do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? And he told him, feed my lamb, feed my sheep, feed my sheep 3 times. He said it to Peter direct. Now, the other disciple was there. What was he doing? He was taking that curse off of Peter. Hallelujah. He was uplifting that curse off of Peter before he get up out of there for the last time. See, because Peter needed that curse taken up off of him, because it's still on him. Why was he saying that he wasn't with him? And he was denying it. It was so deep to the same female that was with them, the army that went out. She saw him. She saw him there, but she still didn't know that Peter. Now, if you with the military, now watch this. I'm gonna show you how beautiful Ahia cleared it off. But that's how Peter's curse got uplifted, through Yeshua, before he left for good and extended. He had to take that curse off of Peter, because Peter still was feeling some guilt, but he took it off. He took it off through saying, do you love me? Feed my lamb. Do you love me? Feed my sheep. Do you love me? Feed my sheep. Bam. Whoop. Then that guilt, the whole thing came off. But one of the soldiers, a female that was with the soldiers that came to pick up gas in Gethsemane, when she saw Peter by the fire, she asked Peter, weren't you with him? And Peter said, no, I don't know. In a sense, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, wait a minute. This is what I said. I said to the Father, I said, how is she going to ask? And she said she was with the men that came out to take Yeshua. Didn't she see the blood shed? She should have known he was the one to chop that soldier's ear off. And the Father said, Deborah, come on now, calm down. Now you know it was frozen. The whole scene was frozen to keep the war. Try to get a man here and a man here, and one draw a sword, and it ain't gonna be a fight. Try to get a woman here and a woman here, and one draw a sword, and it ain't gonna be a fight. You crazy as I don't know what. Now you got to see that the scene was frozen, and the curse was uplifted when before Yeshua left to ascend to the heaven for the final time. He had to uplift that curse off of Peter, because Peter was the still kind of feeling that denial, and it wasn't uplifted, so he uplifted off of Peter. Back, get your word. He was only telling Peter because he know the curse 3 times was on Peter, so he had to erase the curse 3 times by saying, "Do you love me? Yes. Feed my lamb. Do you love me? Feed my sheep. Do you love me? Feed my sheep." You see? And that love, I would say, give my lamb, give my sheep, because he was to give them the mystery of the kingdom of heaven to his lambs, to his sheep, and to his sheep. So I like the idea he did release it up off of Peter. So it's a lot of mystery that is old, and that's why I have an issue with people searching history about what the presidents and the Democrats and Republicans did back in slavery, the army, how they did this, and how many in the army had slaves. Sick mess like that is for sick people who trying to start a newfound religion. There's too much good stuff that was taught through the mystery of the most higher. And now he said the mystery is over, but you can still find these things where in the servants of the prophets. So I, Sister Deborah, say unto you, I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in, and I hope that you got something out of it. And share this video. I normally don't say share, but share this video because it's a lot of good stuff in it. And when you hear me saying to you all what took place before the foundation of the world, and then I turn around and tell you in Genesis 1 and 2, if they missed that, they done missed it all. And that is so true. That is 100. You can miss it all if you miss that. And what happens? They miss it and could care less. Okay. So I, Sister Deborah, say to you all, I appreciate each and every last one of you in the live chat. And I say unto you, thank you. Shalom and shalom.